I love to be hunted.
Okay. Well, let me just understand this one. You want a guy who has a purpose and will chase you.
Thank you.
Okay.
In the COVID, the biggest thing that came was the nyash. In today's world, it's even difficult to find the right person, even in church.
The men should chase
The men should chase the women. Every woman wants a tall, 6-pack or 8-pack fit. I need a man who has a plan in life. I don't want to befriend anybody who is sitting beside a video game and does not have any vision. Believe it or not, we are supposed to help you guys meet a need. So I'm a helpmeet. Okay. I like my men in a particular way, dressed in a particular way. For me, for 29 years, I'm the one that shopped for my husband. Yeah, because this is how I want my husband to look. If you give a woman a sperm, he will give you a baby. If you give a woman trouble, he will give you a holla. Because if you love me as Christ loved the church, submission will come automatically. For instance, I'm sitting here, if my husband takes me to on a vacation, nice vacation, I'm enjoying myself, still submission.
Your ideal vacation
It's Barbados. No. My ideal vacation is not Maldives or maybe Dubai or something. I don't believe in courting for 7 years. That's the whole degree.
Okay.
It's not medical school you are going. Your choice is going to determine who you are tomorrow. You can be the president of America, but if you don't choose a bright spouse, your presidency will be in shambles. Yeah. Why marriages in America don't work is most of our African men don't want to change.
Friends and viewers, welcome to today's episode. And in today's episode, let me tell you, I have Dr. Mrs. Rosemary Andobedu, who has been married for more than decades. And with me today, we will discuss a very beautiful content that you are not going to get anywhere. So stick with me. And so I'm going to allow Dr. Mrs. Rosemary Andobedu to tell us a little bit of yourself. Mommy, can you tell us something bit of yourself?
Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me. I'm glad to be here. Like you said, my name is Rosemary Andobedu. I've been married for, come this May 4th, will be 29 years.
Wow.
And God has blessed us with 4 children.
Nice.
And at this time, we are almost empty nesters.
Yes.
So we've been blessed one way or the other. So I hope our talk today will be fruitful and beneficial to all our viewers.
I'm so convinced that it's going to be a very fruitful one.
Yes.
Yes. And so talking about 29 years of marriage, tell me about it. I mean, what are some of the ups and downs? Do you think it was worthwhile?
Yes, it's been a lot. Every decade has its own package, and we have gone through life struggles. It looks like we've been through almost everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
We've gone through it, and by God's grace, we're still standing. So that is what really matters. And love prevails. At the end of every relationship, it's love that prevails. And it's not just the love that we talk about, I love you. No, it passes that stage. You come to the point where this love is like Christ loving the church, is sacrificial. You go above and beyond. You seek the good for your spouse. And that is what it is. I mean, it's you have to be intentional. It's a lot of work, but you have to be determined that I'm going to work this thing out. And I mean, God being our help, we've come this far.
I mean, 29 years.
29 years.
Do you think love is fleeting? Love is changing? Does it feel like you married past 29 years ago?
Yes. You see, beginning, the love is a different way. I love you. But then it transitions to a different level. It transitions to a place where it's not just the love, but it's about, I seek your good, you seek my good. I mean, I check your back. You know that I'm there for you. It's like
Scratch my back, I
scratch your back. There you go. You see that this person is not just, it transitions more than just the I love you, basic I love you things that we do when we were in our 20s. Yeah, so it is more than just that. And with God in each struggle you are able to go through, you become stronger. And there are things that bothers you when you were 20 will not bother you when you get to 40.
Which one of them is that?
You see, for me, my personal experience, I was very OCD
Okay.
when I got married. So when you marry somebody from a different background and you are also coming from a different background and you are coming to meet, it's a different thing. So the two of you meeting is going to be a clash of the titans.
Okay.
So as you clash, you have to know how to manage your wars and your struggles.
Yeah.
Management of your struggles is one big thing, is one thing that would keep you going. Because if you always want to be the one, as for me, I'm like this.
Yeah.
As for me, I'm like that.
It has to always be my way.
You won't go far.
Yeah.
Because it is not going to always be your way.
Okay.
There are days that you just have to overlook.
Yeah.
There are things that bothers you when you were single that when you marry, at times you have to overlook. You have to pretend you didn't see, so you can get the relationship going.
Wow. What are some of the specific things that you did that kept the relationship to 29 years?
Hmm. Okay. Some of the relationship patience.
Did you really work on it?
Yes, it's
Okay.
intentional work.
Okay.
It's something that you intentionally decide that as for this one, I won't let myself
Okay.
come in.
Okay.
I'll just let it be.
I will think about the bigger goal.
I will think about the bigger goal. Sometimes some people feel that as long you see there are things you can think about. There are things that if you tell anybody, they will tell you it's not worth wasting the time and everything. But if your husband is not doing so many things that will bother you, I mean, for instance, if my husband is not going out doing all sorts of promiscuous things,
Yeah.
if my husband is not, you know,
You're still keeping the love.
fighting me, beating me up, doing all sorts of things that you would not it's not like a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
But there are basic things like you have conflicts here and there that can be solved. We quarrel, we don't talk to each other, we've gone through all the gimmicks. So there comes a time you don't want to even see the person. Yes, God, why did I marry this one? Why? What happened to me? Where did and then the next minute you are like, oh, hey, is that you? So it moves in stages. So, but if you don't want to go through a stage, then it becomes difficult.
Yeah.
You
And
see.
I like the fact that you mentioned you brought in you brought in husband. Okay.
Mhm,
So I'm going to ask you, I
mhm,
think 29 years,
mhm,
most of us, I would say, at least with my crew,
mhm.
most of us were not born.
Yeah.
Okay. And so 29 years of marriage, what would you say? How do we, as youth or people coming up, how do we identify those or someone as a good fit partner for me? Do you think, what should be the criteria?
You see, for the women, I think the guys are not a big problem like the ladies. The ladies have a list.
Okay.
So every woman wants a tall 6-pack or 8-pack.
I don't think I'll get
Somebody who is fit, somebody who is good looking, somebody who is you see. So we are looking more of the outward, which is not as important as the inward.
Yeah.
You see, if you know who the person is going to be,
Okay.
it doesn't matter how the person is. Are you getting my point? If let me give you an example. For me, okay, so let me talk about the ladies and I'll talk about the guys. So for ladies, for me, I don't believe in my training, like my pastor, we used to have a ladies club. Then my pastor used to tell us that don't give yourself too many lists, but rather ask yourself that who is this person going to be? Because the Bible says that I am a helpmeet. I'm supposed to help you meet. So if you don't have anything in mind, what am I going to help you for? So I need a man who has a purpose.
Yeah.
I need a man who needs a plan,
Yeah.
who has a plan in life. I need a man who is going somewhere.
Yeah.
Are you getting my point? I don't want to befriend anybody who is sitting beside a video game and does not have any vision.
Okay.
He's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Now you are saying purpose, right?
So that is the purpose for the women.
Okay.
Because we go with list, we go with the beauty, we go with the height, we go with some people even go as far as if the person is rich or not rich. But I will stick.
But mommy, that is very important.
Yeah, money is good.
Yeah. Mommy, I'm glad you brought about have a list. I mean, some women having a tall list, and your pastor advising that they shouldn't have a tall list and all that. So what can you say about it?
It doesn't mean that the list is bad,
Okay.
but don't let the list bind you. That sometimes God will bring somebody your way, but the person might not have A, B, C, but you are expecting A, B, C, D, E, F.
Okay.
So because the person did not meet D, E, F, you cancel the person out. I believe in relationships.
Yeah.
So my principle is, when I was young, I used to have a lot of guy friends. So my principle is, if you come and ask me out, even if I don't like you, I don't insult you.
Okay.
But maybe one way or the other, you become a friend with no strings attached.
Okay.
So I like those kind of relationship better than people feeling that the very first day he meets you, I like you, and they were going out. No, no.
Mommy, a lot of men actually find that very they call it red flags. Like a woman who keeps more guys as friends close to them.
Because this generation, it's difficult to have guy friends. But in our generation, it was okay. Some of us were tomboys.
Okay.
And we worked with the guys. We did everything with them. And I went to sixth form in a boys' school. So it's everything you do is supposed to build character in you. It's not that you have a guy friend and that makes you, you know, sexually connected. No.
I have two scenarios.
Okay.
Let's just say you are a lady
Uh-huh.
and a man approaches you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe two men approaches you.
Mm-hmm.
One has money,
Mm-hmm.
one doesn't have money.
Mm-hmm.
Aside the money, they are all having or doing the same kind of course, maybe program in the school
Mm-hmm.
together. Who are you going for as a woman?
What my priority is, I can choose either. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make me evil.
Okay.
But every woman will see you in a different way. God has created us that way. So when I see you, my main thing is it's not it's not the list I have. I'm not sticking to the list per se, but I'm sticking more to your purpose. Where you going?
Okay.
I want a man with a vision. I want a man with a know-how. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to carry himself.
Yeah.
You don't want somebody you should be telling the person what to do.
Okay.
No, I want somebody who has a vision.
If I should infer, then mommy, you are saying that as a woman, you should be supporting a man's vision. Is that what you are saying?
Well, whether you believe it or not, we are supposed to help you guys meet a need.
Okay.
So I'm a helpmeet.
Okay.
Okay. So as a helpmeet, whatever it is, I'm helping my husband. I help myself too. It doesn't mean that I'm helping my husband, I'm zoom. I don't do anything for myself.
Okay.
I'm helping my husband, I'm helping myself. I'm helping build my home because I am the builder of the house to make it a home. So that is where you, the woman, has to make sure that you are choosing this man with a purpose, with a plan. If it coincidentally the person happens to have money, excellent.
Okay.
If the person doesn't have money and you still feel that the person has a goal and is going somewhere, and the two of you together and with your innovation, you'll be able to go for it.
So, ladies, if the man has a vision and is going somewhere, and you are innovating, is that what you say, mommy?
Yeah.
Then you go for the vision, not the money, not the money.
I mean, the money and all the stuff is incentives.
Okay.
It comes with it.
Okay.
You can get money now, or you can get money later.
Okay.
It doesn't really. It shouldn't be your criteria.
or
You shouldn't.
deal breaker?
Yeah, it shouldn't be the. I mean, if my husband has money, good. He doesn't have money and he's doing something, it's way almost better.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll come back from a quick break,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure you are actually enjoying it. Give me a like, a subscribe, and actually comment on what you like most about what you're listening to. I'll see you. Viewers, welcome back. Mommy was telling us that we should look for vision. I mean, it was relating to the women, right? Let's go back and listen to Mommy regarding what the men should actually do. So, Mommy, can you tell us, as the guys, what we should also look out for?
Okay. So the little that I know is for me, I love to be hunted.
Okay. Whoa.
You know, I don't like guys who just hang around and don't say anything.
Let me just understand this one. You want a guy who has a purpose and will chase you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bible says that he that finds a wife
Okay.
finds a good thing
Yeah.
and receives favor from God.
Okay.
Proverbs 18:22. You cannot, whether you believe in it or not, whether you're a Christian or you're not a Christian, all the stuff you do is you hunt for the wife.
Oh.
So you go around looking around and you see this lady and you see her body, you see her face, and you like the physique.
Yeah.
But you see, are you just liking physique, or are you just because when you marry, everything that you look, Bible says that the beauty will fade. You see,
Yeah.
3 years ago, all during the COVID, the biggest thing that came was the nyash.
Okay.
And all the guys were looking for the ladies with the big owl shape.
Yeah.
But at this point, the guys don't want they realize that it's too much.
Mhm.
So you have to know what you want. The beauty will fade, but a woman that fears God will last forever. And it doesn't mean that it's only in the church you can find them. In today's world, it's even difficult to find the right person even in church. So, but the church is an ideal place. It's a better place than to go to the club for a lady. In whatever you do, you need to find a person. That means even God is telling you, go look for it. Whether you believe it or not, whatever you are doing, you are looking for.
The men should chase
The men should chase the women
for what they want.
for what you want.
Okay.
Let the woman feel like he's loved. Let the woman feel that he's needed. You don't just come to my house and be a friend and just come to, it's nice to marry your friend. It's ideal. It's the best way
Why?
to marry your friend.
Why?
Why?
Yes.
When I marry my friend, if you are my friend, we can talk about anything. You see, remember I told you that I used to have a lot of guy friends. So we sit down, we all put our hands together, we eat, we go out, we go shopping, we go movies, we do all that with no strings attached. So you are comfortable with the person.
Yeah.
Hey, I can insult you and I don't feel bothered. You do something wrong, hey, I can tell you you don't smell good. I can tell you you don't do this. But you see, if you just come right to me and you want to marry me right away, you have so many things I might not even like. And because of your ego, you might not like me to tell you that you smell. But if you are my friend, you know that's how I am. You see? And I believe that I like my men in a particular way, dress in a particular way. So if my husband doesn't dress that way, for me, for 29 years, I'm the one that shop for my husband. Are you
I
get?
believe those are some of the things you work in the relationship.
Yeah, because this is how I want my husband to look. It's not that he doesn't know how to buy. Now he knows how to buy his own stuff, but maybe the things he might put on, I might not like it so much. But I believe that he has to look good for me,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I work on that.
And I know a lot of men, including myself, don't even know what things I should put on to look good. Sometimes you need a woman to give that feminine
Thank
touch.
you. Guys are good. They can dress up themselves. They can look sharp. But it's not all those guys that might have a vision or that might have the type of things you like. But if you meet somebody, for instance, if you have three guys, one looks very sharp, all dressy, all nice looking, and everything is perfect. And you meet another guy, he has a purpose, he has a vision. He doesn't dress good, he doesn't even know where the tie goes and which one matches and which he doesn't care. And you meet somebody on the HSA, he has no plan, he doesn't have, you have to choose within these three. I'll choose the one who has a plan, he knows where he's going, but he doesn't know how to dress. Those can be fixed.
Okay.
Are you getting my? Sometimes when I met my husband, he was an engineer, he had money, but he didn't know how to dress. I said, that's easy. Give me the money, I can get
Mommy,
fix the clothing.
I have a very important question.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
now you mentioned that a woman should look for a man with vision, and actually you look at where the man is going and whether it's going to be it's actually what you want. In the end, it's actually value. But I want to ask you, what do you think? Should a woman has a value to bring on the table? What should a woman bring to the table? I know you are a doctor, and so I mean, just we could judge by socioeconomic status and all that. What and a lot of men are actually also expecting women or women to bring something to the marriage. What can you say about that?
In this generation, yes, because of the economic system, you cannot, unless the man is already rich and the man is already well off. But it's always good. You see, the woman's goal is to build the house. Whatever you give the woman, that's what he's going to use to build. And I remember the prophet would say that if you give a woman a sperm, he will give you a baby. If you give a woman trouble, he will give you a hala. So whatever you give me, that is what I'm going to give you. If you give me love,
Okay.
submission, love, everything will come automatically with no problem. But you see, the opposite happens when men who say their wives don't submit, it's because they don't love their wives. Because if you love me as Christ loved the church, submission will come automatically. And it's very true. For instance, I'm sitting here, if my husband takes me to on a vacation, nice vacation, I'm enjoying myself, still submission.
Your ideal vacation
Uh,
is
it's
Barbados.
no. My ideal vacation is not Maldives or maybe Dubai or something. I mean, you see, if the husbands are loving their wives as Christ loved the church, Christ loved us sacrificially.
Okay.
You see, this is where the iron meets the rod, because to be sacrificial is not simple. Oh. It's not simple. There are times your whole body is screaming to reply, but he says, Charlie, just keep quiet.
Okay.
You see, so it is a difficult, in marriage you should intentionally make it work, or else it's not going to work.
Marriage, you should intentionally make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And you do that by loving sacrificially.
Mm-hmm.
Right from the break, we'll discuss more. Stay with me. Viewers, welcome back. And I know you are enjoying our conversation. Now let's go. Mommy, one of the very good questions that I have actually been able to see is that I want to know, at what stage should I look for a partner, or should a person look for a partner?
This is a very big, because we are Ghanaians in America, so the cultures are kind of different.
Okay.
But I would say that a woman is ready to marry, to settle down, when she has things in perspective. A guy should be doing something.
Now, mommy, let's go back. And things in perspective. What do you mean?
You see, for the woman, it's a difficult question, but I'm trying to break it down such that I'm thinking about myself.
Okay.
At what point did I feel like I'm ready? When a woman is ready for marriage, she's ready. There are things that she consciously prepares herself for. Don't just say you want to marry when you sit idle and do nothing. What are the things I have to prepare myself for? I have to know that, okay, if I bring somebody into my life, it's going to be a different ball game. I'm going to be able to cater for the person is going to cater for me. Am I ready for that?
Am I even ready to bear kids, to start nurturing kids?
No, you can marry, and the children comes in later, depending on what you decide. So normally, if you don't talk about it, it can come impromptu.
Okay.
So it's better to discuss. That's why it's always nice when you were friends before the relationship. So you could discuss some of these basic things, and because you are my friend, I know, oh, as for this guy, he wants kids early or he doesn't want kids early. So those are things that you build on, you get to know. So but if you're not talking and you don't know anything and you're doing what you're not supposed to do, definitely the children will surprise you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So at what stage should we actually, regarding?
There is no stage.
Okay.
It's your maturity.
Okay.
I would say it's the maturity. Somebody can be in our culture here in the valley, from 19, 20 people are getting married. But where we come from in Ghana, it's a little older. Like, you prefer to have finished your first degree or something before you marry. But even that, you finishing the first degree doesn't qualify you to marry, because you might not be matured enough to marry. So the thing is, how responsible are you? How are you able to cater for somebody's child?
Yeah.
And that person, for instance, you married at the age of 25. Your girlfriend or your wife is 22. 22 years, she was trained by somebody. And now this person, the two of you are coming to sit down, live together, and you are going to act like your training, your life should blend.
Okay.
It doesn't blend that quick. It takes a long time before you see that the surfacing will start blending, because you were brought up a different way. I was brought up a different way.
Is that not the case for when people don't court before they marry?
It's not true. Worship is nice, but it doesn't tell you everything.
Okay.
There is so many people can court, even in today's generation. Some of the guys, they live together, but yet they still don't know the moment the marriage thing comes upon your head, it's a different ball game.
The other person start revealing their true self.
Yeah, it's not the other person. From because you take each other for granted. For instance, if I'm courting you, there are some things you will never see about me. You come every time you come and visit me looking nice. Even when I hear you are coming, I quickly clean up the place. I make sure there are things you don't see.
Because I want the marriage.
Yeah. No, because I want the marriage, because I want the relationship. I cherish the love that we are enjoying. The moment we marry, mm, you know, you come, you throw your socks on the floor. Me too, I come, I throw my jacket somewhere. And you don't like it, and I don't like it. And why did you put your socks here? Why can't you put your socks in the bin? Why can't you put your things in the laundry? Why do you keep your stuff all cluttered up in the closet?
So two scenarios. Mommy.
So it's
Would you advise that you marry
Mhm.
right into it, or you court for a while?
You definitely you have to court.
Okay.
You can't marry right away. I mean,
what's the duration, the ideal duration?
you got yeah. I don't believe in courting for 7 years. That is the whole degree.
Okay.
It's not medical school you are going. Because if you can court for 7 years, but you still wouldn't know the person you're dealing with.
Okay.
I mean, averagely, I think averagely 1 year, 6 months, 1 year is okay.
1 year, 6 months.
6 months to 1 year, but it shouldn't be more than 2 years. That would be too much.
Those of you who have dated for 2, 3 years to 7 years, you are not courting
For a degree.
For a degree. You have to decide to marry. Okay, because mommy is saying that courting doesn't mean you are going to see everything, right? You just have to know your ideal person, and if the person fits in that vision and that situation you're looking for, then you go in for it. Okay, mommy, what are some of the compromises that I need to compromise? A lot of people talk about compromises in marriages. And so I know in situations where a woman will decide to abandon her job
Mm-hmm.
just because they want to make the marriage work in one way or the other. What do you say about that?
It's always a decision between the two of you. You see, whatever the two of you agree to. There's one thing that I would also chip in here whilst we're talking. Life is full of choices.
Okay.
Your choice is going to determine who you are tomorrow. So you can be the president of America, but if you don't choose a bright spouse, your presidency will be in shambles.
Yeah.
But if you find a good wife, you receive favor from God. And your life, because that woman knows how to manage, there will be a time that the woman might not be working. There will be a time that the woman is working. But whichever way the way the two of you would come together and make it work, it's what is the key here. It's not if you putting your wife as a housewife will settle everything, because the woman has to take care of the house and the man has to work. In today's generation, you need a two income in order to live comfortably.
Okay.
Unless maybe the man is already rich or you were born into a rich family, that's a different story. But depending on the situation you find yourself, you need to make choices and arrangements such that the two of you will be comfortable.
Okay, Mommy, I see. I know. Previously you mentioned that we are Ghanaians, right? Living in America. I want to ask you. It's most of the situations. I would say that the man would like to be dominant, and in some of these situations, maybe the woman may not support, but for the sake of trying to make the marriage work. And so, what are some of the acceptable compromises that a woman should consider? Because we cannot just leave it for the men all the time.
No, but why do you think it's only the woman that should consider? Because, for instance, when I was in school, when I was doing my PhD, my husband and I were both doing PhDs together.
Okay.
We had one kid. Okay. So we were shuffling between this kid and going to school and doing our TA and working on campus to sustain, get our stipend and all that. There are times that I will stay on campus late. My husband has to go and pick my kid. There are times that we all will come to home, especially on Fridays, we all come home early. He would have to help. There are times he will come in, but you see, the African man is trained in a different way. So if I'm married to you, I know where you are coming from. So there are some compromises. Most African women, especially in the diaspora, so many women have to go through a lot. Because some of the men don't do anything. Because they were brought up in Africa or in Ghana that men don't work in the house.
Okay. Yeah.
But remember that in America, both of you are working. It's not in the typical Ghanaian setting where it's only the guy working. But even now in Ghana, things have changed.
A lot of things have changed.
Both of you are working, so the man has to be considerate. And that is one thing I like Prophet Nana say about, because he will tell you that, hey, if you come and you see that your wife is even sick and is still shuffling the kids and doing that and is going to grocery and doing that, there are some things you can do which will not touch your ego or your image.
Okay.
Are you getting my point? An African man, today's setting, I think your generation is getting better. But previously, even when the man is taking out the trash, he gets angry because in Africa, if my mom sees that I'm taking trash from or sweeping the house, it's going to be, no.
Yeah.
It cannot be. I work 12 hours shift. Sometimes I go night shift. So if my husband is here with my daughter, he would have to make sure my daughter has eating. So you see, it's a joint compromise where we both, but if the man wants to stand on its ground as an African man and doesn't want to do anything and expect the home to move smoothly, there's always chaos. Because remember, the woman is working the same hours you are working. You expect that when you come in, your food is ready, your dinner is ready to eat.
Yeah.
You expect that if you have children, the kids are taken. If the kids are younger, are toddlers, or even it's more chaotic because kids have to be taken care of. They need to take a shower. They need to eat. They need to go to sleep. All those things the women will do. But if you're an African man and you don't help your wife, you're looking for chaos.
Okay.
You won't last in
So-
today's generation.
All right. Mommy, so I think we will talk about a lot. I have two other questions that
Okay.
it's very special to, I think, my viewers. And so,
Mhm.
right from the break, we'll talk about it. Viewers, welcome back. Let's just go straight into what we actually ended. Let's take off. Mommy, I think I heard you say Prophet Nana says Sarkodie. Can you talk more about some of the principles he teaches about
He's my
marriage?
prophet that I follow in Ghana from the Porter's City at Miocho Pram Pram. And he does talk a lot. I enjoy him because he talks a lot about marriage and he advises, especially an African man and an African woman in the diaspora, some of the ways we should live that will make our lives comfortable.
Yes. So talking about that, I know you mentioned that an African man and the way they have to go about it. So I have been in the news for a while. I've seen in the news for a while that a lot of marriages in America don't last. Typical instances, maybe a Ghanaian man brings over the wife from Ghana to the America, and now a lot of problems, and it don't last. And we've also seen a lot of divorce cases in America. Why are marriages in America don't last?
I won't say marriages in America. In truly, marriages in general in this generation don't last.
Oh,
From Ghana, everywhere. The statistics is true. I mean, there are so many marriages that they will start the weddings and everything nice, and by the next, why? Because when you enter marriage, it's a different ballgame. That's why I said that don't waste your time courting one person for 7 years and you don't marry the person. Because at the end of the day, when you marry the person, what are you bringing in and what am I bringing in?
yeah.
Why marriages in America don't work is most of our African men don't want to change. They want to be the same way they are in Ghana or in Africa. Because in Africa, maybe most of the women might have help at home,
Yeah.
which the Ghanaian woman in America doesn't have
Yeah.
or cannot afford.
Yeah.
But if my husband wants to live the same way he lived in Ghana, as he wants to be in America, it's going to be cause rift.
Yeah.
Because we are all going to do the same job. Why? Why am I doing the same job as you? You want both monies to survive. So if you want both monies to bring home to survive, to make our lives easy, then the man should also come in and help
And support.
Yeah. So don't come back from work and prop your legs and eat your dinner and then go and watch your TV or watch your football or whatever and leave the kids and leave the home and leave everything on the woman to do. There are times that you maybe if you come home early, clean up the house, tidy the place, or maybe start the food. It is all love. It is all romance. If I come and you are cooking, it's nice. I appreciate what you're doing. But you see, if the woman comes and is tired and is going to have to do all that, there's going to come a time that she's exhausted.
Yeah.
And sometimes too, because of the cultures, in over here in the American setting, the men help. You see, an American man would help you in the house if they love you. But it doesn't mean they are perfect. But those are some of the cultural differences we have.
I think that is one of the aspects that.
And that is why I said that I like the teachings of Prophet Nanase Opokusa Akodia, because he tells the men, help your wives. Go shopping for your wives. Go do these are things as an African man will not go out of his comfort zone to do. You will never see an African man go to Victoria's Secret to go and buy lingerie for the wife, or maybe buy flowers, or maybe buy. You see, some people have learned, some people have evolved, but some people too know they don't want to change at all. But you see, every little thing that you do that your wife will appreciate, it's not just flowers, and it's not just lingerie. It's not just chocolate or whatever, but sometimes the little things you do. I believe women, our romance starts from the little things you do for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mommy, thank you very much, Mommy, for having to come to my show, DJ's podcast.
Thank you.
But I want you to leave us with some experiences and some bit of something that you would like to tell us, just as a takeaway.
Okay. I would tell the women that if somebody approaches you, if a guy comes, if you are of the age to marry, and somebody comes to, because when you get from your 20s to 25, you are primed to marry. So you see the men coming to you. That's how God has done it. But you will have to be able to choose wisely. Choose wisely is that you cannot just keep hopping from one man to the other, because whatever you mistakes you do will track you when you marry. You don't want to marry somebody and they'll tell you, "Oh, that was my ex, that was my ex," and you have too many exes. You see, it's an eyesore to have too many exes, and then it's like, okay, finally I got married. It doesn't mean that if you've done that already, you can't move forward. But if you can prevent it now, I'm talking to the 20s student. For us that are old, we've done so many bad things that you cannot correct. But thank God for God's grace. If you are within 20 to 25 and it's your prime time, please choose wisely. And choose wisely, pray about the person that you see. Because sometimes people would masquerade themselves in a different way. My father said, "Emma pe nkwasiafo."
Okay.
In the translation from the tree translation, that means women or girls like stupid people, stupid men. It's not that we love, but because we see whatever we see, appreciate,
You are attracted by the eyes.
eyes.
Okay.
Because so this guy comes in all dressed up and he's rapping and he's saying all the nice things you want to hear.
Okay.
And this is another guy who comes in and he's sitting down quietly. He's not doing anything. He's not saying anything. When it comes to choosing, if you're not careful, you choose the one that talks nice because he appeals to you so well. But sometimes he might not be the right person. So that is why when the guy finds you, you need to make sure you choose wisely. For the men, go find your wife. That is the best and the most important thing in life. If you marry wrongly, you'll be in trouble. Your life will be most miserable. But if you marry right, you will enjoy your life to the fullest. So marry wisely. Pick the right person. Find the woman that God has for you. I'm not saying, I don't want to make it religious that you would think that, do I have to pray? Yes, you can do all that. But whatever it is, you have to open your eyes and look for the person. Is this woman the type of woman that I like? It's not just the butt or the breast or the face or whatever, but you need to look beyond that. And that would help you a lot.
Thank you so much, Mommy. I am so happy, and I think my viewers are so happy to listen to all the good things that you have actually told us today. And I think I myself enjoyed it. And if you also enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe, like my videos, and comment. Actually, is very important to me. Comment. Let us see what we are doing best, what we are doing wrong. And I'll see you in the next episode.